All right, so then that brings us to the end of the episode here where we like to go over our question of the week. This one actually has a bit of context to it this week. Because of the recent news yesterday of the Oscars broadcast, basically they're making some changes. So they're moving the best cinematography, best hair and makeup, best editing, and then best short documentary or something like that. They're moving those 4 categories to commercial breaks, essentially. So they will not be showing those on the Oscars ceremony. But they will be showing the acceptance speeches, or like a highlights kind of segment of all the acceptance speeches together. So this has got a lot of outrage from a lot of people. Again, as we talked about, something kind of seems small, but it's huge on the internet. And this got a lot of outrage from people, especially the cinematography one. So, with this, I thought I would ask this question, which is, if you could change one thing about the format of the Oscars broadcast, what would it be? Because I think a lot of people disagree with this, and I would like to find out, what people think is a better change to the format, because I think we all agree that having an Oscar show 4 hours long is just not an option. That's not a good thing to happen. Already it goes like 3 hours and 20 minutes usually. So, so if you could change one thing about the format, what would it be about the Oscars? And people are talking about doing like a 2-night thing where you put, some of the smaller categories on a Saturday night, for example, and maybe do like an online kind of thing where people could watch, and then you have the big show on TV on Sunday where it would be like only 2 hours, and you have like the acting, best picture, director, and all those. But again, all these ideas that I've heard are still, like you said, I mean, those people who are getting the awards, I mean, the people for best sound mixing, right? It's like, yes, maybe the general public wouldn't care as much about that as best director, but to them, that might be, that is their equivalent to a best director, right? Like, that's their profession, that's what they do. And so it's hard to, the whole thing about the Oscars is it's all become about popularity and this ceremony on TV instead of the actual award, part of it, right? And again, like, it's tough to then, put yourself in the shoes of these people earning the awards, like you said, having their moment, which is something big. And I mean, just for me, it's like, well, with no host this year, it's going to be interesting actually to see how they do that, because there's not going to be like a monologue and stuff. But like, do you know those little parts in between the awards where they have the host who does the monologue at the beginning? I'm okay with that. But then let's talk about, those 2 to 3 minute little clips that they do where it's usually not very funny at all, and they make some, little commentary between, 2 people or the host as well. But those little 2 to 3 minute segments in between the awards. And it's like, maybe those could be cut out. I know the presenters a lot, they come out and they take like 2 minutes up before they get to the nominations. It's like, maybe we should just hear the nominations, right? It's like, I mean, yeah, the audience is supposed to get entertained, but it's like, we want to see the awards. Like, and that's why I'm okay with the monologue, because, well, this year we'll see what they do, but with the monologue, because it's like the host is always kind of a big deal to people, right, about the Oscars. Like, everyone talks about, oh, who's the host this year? There is none this year, but anyways, so, and it's like, okay, I'm okay with the monologue, but like, why are all these other bits and sections in here? It's like, okay, get one of these stars, come up to the mic, say, we had a great field this year. Instead of making all these jokes about the audience members and, all this stuff, just say, we got a great nomination field this year. Here are the nominees. We get the nominees quick. And they take like a minute clip of all these things. Like for sound mixing or something, they show like a minute of the movie. And it's like, I don't know. Just show, very short, clips of all the nominees. And then here's the winner. And again, you could talk about the acceptance speeches. That's a thing that a lot of people go to first, right? Is saying, well, all these people talk so long, they go over like the music that they play or whatever, and that takes up more time. That's something too. But it's kind of hard to cut off people like that, who, again, like you said, having a moment per se. I mean, some of these people this year, that's going to be their first time winning an Oscar. And, obviously that's something that they want to have, and they want to make a speech and whatever. But, for me, it would just be all those little things that they just really do not need, and they just keep doing them every year. And I think if you're looking to cut stuff, that's what you cut. You don't cut a category like best cinematography or best film editing. Like to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, it all goes back to the same overarching theme to me of what can we do? They're focusing on entertainment and popularity more so than the actual awards themselves, which is unfortunate. And I don't know. That's kind of the trend they're going with going forward. And I mean, you could say this exact same thing for the Emmys too. It's not just the Oscars. So, anyways, a lot of people are making a big deal out of that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think if you're looking to cut some stuff, that would be what you cut. But anyways, end of the day, neither of us are in control, and the majority of the internet who's talking about this has no say in this. Yeah, we'll have to see how it ends up. But also gonna be interesting without a host this year. We'll have to see how that stuff plays into it.